Ladies and gentlemen, we have to learn to bat properly in this game of life called cricket. And therefore, lesson one from the game of cricket is any good batsman, any good cricketer, any good cricket player will first assess the ground, the pitch, will assess the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. It's called a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis means know what your strengths are, know what your weaknesses are, W, know what are the opportunities to hit, and know what are the threats, a leg spinner, an expert leg spinner. Every good batsman will first go and assess the situation to get everything cleared. Once that assessment is there and things are there, first get adapted to the ground as if it's your home ground. In the home ground, you can hit well. But if it's not your home ground, it's not as easy. The terrain is different, the country is different, people who are cheering are different. The umpire is not in your favor because he's a third umpire, not of any country. God, I'll tell you something. There is a great need for assessment because it's not your place. वानखेड़े में खेलेंगे ना, अरे मारो यार, बॉम्बे है, उधर मेलबोर्न में जाएंगे ना, देखना पड़ता है सब कुछ बराबर क्या क्या. First assessing the realities of the pitch. Whom are you playing against? Who is the team? Who are the fast bowlers? Who are the leg spinners? All of that stuff. Assessment of situations of the game. You know, without which batting can be a little haphazard. We are all playing a game of life. Assess your opponent first. Till the time you do not know your opponent's strengths and weaknesses and your own strengths and weaknesses, there is a problem. जिंदगी में हम जब खेल रहे हैं, जिंदगी का the game of life, we need to truly assess who is our opponent. I'm asking you a question. How many of you are with me now in the talk? Okay, good. How many of your minds are outside this hall? बैठे बैठे ऐसे ही जुप, और फिर कुछ तो हा हुआ, oh back. You know, do you know something? In the game of life, you're playing a cricket match against an entity called the mind. और इस एंटिटी के साथ अगर आप जीत गए तो दुनिया की कोई शक्ति आपको रोक नहीं सकती. No one on planet Earth can stop you from accomplishing and achieving what you want if you can bat against the googlies that the mind bowls at you. How many of you have experienced that the mind bowls googlies? Good. When it comes to exercising and jogging, how many of you know that the mind bowls googlies? मत जा, सो जा, सो जा. वो आपको आउट करना चाहता है. आपका मन आपके गेम में आपको आउट करना चाहता है ताकि आप चौका छक्का लगा के सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो. एक ही व्यक्ति है रोकने वाला आपको आपके यश में, वो है ये फास्ट बॉलर, मन, द माइंड. सो एक्टिव ना, सोता है तो भी छोड़ता नहीं है. बॉडी इज इनएक्टिव, उसका बॉलिंग चल रहा है, बैट्समैन थक गया है, वही तो बंद कर. अभी बैट्समैन ने बैट नीचे रख दिया है तब भी इसका बॉल चल रहा है. बोल रहा उठने के बाद वो मारेगा, वो आए उसको मुझे बोल्ड करना है, बस क्लीन बोल्ड. कॉन्स्टेंटली सपना आता है, सपना. वन लेडी, एक पत्नी अपनी पति से पूछ रही है, पति बोलता है पत्नी को, 4 बजे उठाता है पत्नी को, बोला मुझे एक सपना आया. बोला क्या आया सपने में? बोला एक बहुत सुंदर लड़की आई. सो शी सेड मैं थी ना? बोला बिल्कुल नहीं. सो देन द लेडी सेड अकेली आई होगी नहीं वो? पति साहब बराबर, तुझे कैसे मालूम? बोला उसका पति मेरे सपने में आया था. Her husband came in my dream. ये मन. I used to go to Radha Raman temple in Vrindavan, and there in the Radha Raman temple I used to hear one devotee sing this song. ये मन बड़ा पागल है, कैसे तेरा भजन करूं, जितना इसे समझाऊं उतना ही मचलता है. समझाया आपने आपके मन को? शांत बैठता है वो, बॉलिंग बंद करता है वो तो बॉल पे बॉल डाला जाता है आपको आउट करने के लिए, ताकि आपने जो प्रण लिया है, द वर्ड दैट यू हैव गिवन टू गॉड, टू योर फैमिली, इन योर लाइफ, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू कीप योर वाउज, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू कीप योर रिजॉल्व. दैट इज द जॉब ऑफ दिस ओपोनेंट टीम ऑफ योर्स, द माइंड एंड माइन, ऑफ कोर्स. द माइंड. माय गॉड, आई वांट टू टेल ऑल ऑफ यू, assess this opponent. Assess this opponent who's very strong. One of the best bowlers in the history of cricket is the mind. ऐसा गूगली डालता है कि कुछ नहीं कर सकते आप लोग. How many of you have had a conflict within? Good. Thank you. How many of you have had a conflict? मंदिर जाए कि नहीं आज प्रेरणा के लिए? Thank you, gentlemen. Raise your hands up. Don't worry. Your mind is bowling. Don't worry. है ना? आपके मन ने तो बोला ही होगा ना, अरे किधर वो टकलों के पास मंदिर में जा रहा है तू? हाँ, क्या है वो मंदिर में, क्या रखा हुआ है? हाँ, वो गूगली डालता है. मत जा. फिर दूसरा दोस्त बोलता है, अरे तू चल उधर श्रद्धा है, भक्ति है, पूजा है, आराधना है, सब है उधर, तू चल बस, हरे कृष्णा. और फिर हाँ, उधर प्रेरणा भी है. Oh my God. हरे कृष्णा. What googlies by the mind will stop you from doing what you want. How many of you have trouble in studying? Raise your hands as students. My God. And you come here, you hear all of these things. Don't get distracted by WhatsApp. Don't get distracted by internet pornography. Don't get distracted by Twitter. Don't get distracted by Facebook. Study. Don't get distracted by birds to do bird watching. Study. All these distractions. इधर आके कुछ उपदेश देते हैं कुछ लोग, साधु लोग आपको, उस पे बाद भी फेल होता है वो. So one father was telling his son, देख तेरे क्लास में वो लूसी है ना, लूसी, देख फर्स्ट आई है वो, और तू नालायक फेल हो गया. वो बोला देख के ही फेल हो गया मैं उसको. देख के ही तो फेल हुआ मैं उसको. I'll tell you something. My God, the mind. आपको जब बोला जाए उधर मत देख, मन गूगली डालता है, सुन मत उसका तो कुछ हुआ नहीं, तेरा भी रोक रहा है. सुनो मत इसका, इन साधुओं का, डिवोटी लोगों का सुनो मत. मन गूगली डालता है. Why? Because the mind doesn't want you to win the game of life. How many of you wanted to wake up early in the morning? Raise your hands. Only wanted, I asked. Wanted to wake up early in the morning. And how many of you have done something called as setting an alarm clock? है ना? 4 वाजताचा लावला, 4. किती हिम्मत आहे पहा त्याच्यामध्ये, 4चा अलार्म लावला त्यांनी. अहो छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांकडे एवढी हिंमत नव्हती, एवढी आमच्या मुलांकडे. 4 वाजताचा अलार्म लावतात ते. 4 o'clock. And then after setting the alarm clock at 4, that's an alarm. Whether you want it or not, it rings. And when it rings, the mind puts its first googly. And your intelligence tells your mind, अरे एग्जाम 2 दिन पे है, पढ़ाई नहीं हुआ है, किताब जिस दिन खरीदा था अभी तो खुशबू वैसा ही है, खोला ही नहीं है, खोला ही नहीं अभी तक. What are you doing? What does the mind do? By putting the googly, makes you clean bold when you do the first snooze. You are out. You are out. If you snooze, you are out. And then the second snooze. And the third snooze. Finish. Turn the alarm off. मेरे से नहीं होगा. ये बॉलर बहुत पावरफुल है. मैंने तो अपना बैट ही नीचे रख दिया है. I want to say something. I used to do this earlier, you know. I would love to, I still sometimes do it. I know it's bad, but I do it. Many times I sleep very late in the night. I have a lifestyle, a lot of programs, Bombay, everything starts late. I don't get enough sleep in the night many times. And if you sleep at 1 o'clock in the night, and if you have to wake up at 4 for Mangalarti, it's not easy. Not easy at all. And I've slept, like in the last week, I've slept like 1:30, 1:45 because of coming back from somewhere at that time. And when the alarm rings, no, it's not easy. Ladies and gentlemen, आसान नहीं है वो अलार्म से उठना तुरंत. बहुत कठिन होता है उठना तुरंत बिना स्नूज किए. तो मैं कभी कभी क्या करता हूँ मालूम है, मैं ना 4 बजे उठना होता है, 5 बजे का मंगल आरती है, तो 3:45 का अलार्म लगाता हूँ. 3 स्नूज करके केवल एक मेंटल फीलिंग के लिए कि 15 मिनट ज्यादा सोया. How many of you have done it? Raise your hands honestly. My God, look at that. I thought I'm the only one. Just seems like a common strategy all over the place. Just to get that mental feel कि 3 snooze में 15 minutes. अरे नींद खोल के डिस्टर्ब हो गया फालतू में 15 मिनट. I want to say one thing. Just one. And probably this will change the direction of your life. You know something, when you snooze the alarm, what happens? You decide to give in to the mind's bowl. Decide to give in to the mind's ball. And this is how your morning begins. By giving in to the mind. सवेरे की शुरुआत होती है इस बॉलर से क्लीन बोल्ड होके. आगे क्या मैच जीतेंगे? ये तो दिन की शुरुआत है. By giving in. And it's no problem giving in. Sleeping 5 minutes extra is no problem. The problem is you develop the attitude of giving in. You tell yourself that what I decided last night is not as important. What is important is what the mind says. Because we listen. When we listen to our mind, that means what we decided is not as important as what the mind is telling us at this point of time. I'll tell you something, my humble advice. Because it's not just about getting up in the morning, it's about every aspect of life. Whether it's your work, if you're working, whether it's your study, if you're studying, whether it's your chanting, if you're a devotee of Krishna, whatever we do. The problem is, it's not about one thing. सवेरे हो गया ना, it reflects in every area of life. इसलिए मैं कहता हूँ, अगर 4 बजे नहीं उठना, मालूम है ना अपने से नहीं होता, 4:20 का अलार्म लगाओ, लेकिन 4:20 को उठो. Don't allow that snooze. Because every time you allow that snooze, you are allowing this opponent to googly you and make you clean bold. Are you all with me? Are you ready for the second master stroke? The first master stroke is assess your opponent and the pitch. And we have very well assessed our opponent. The mind. ऐसा opponent है ये कि बार बार out करता रहता है, नहीं? And therefore the second aspect is practice is the key. There is no substitute to practice in any sport, including cricket. Praveen Ambreji is here. Ask him. Abhay Chaitanya Prabhu is here. You were also playing for Ranji Trophy, right? And do you know that he is the mentor of Ajinkya Rahane? Abhay Chaitanya Prabhu is the mentor of Ajinkya Rahane. Huh? Say it again. Okay. Yes, great. Cricket. And therefore, they know well how much time goes into practice.